everyone. How you feeling today?
Great.
All right, that was Nordia. I said, how you feeling today? So I am so excited to be here today. If you guys didn't know, we are here in beautiful Newark, New Jersey. All right, at the Source of Knowledge. This is a bookstore. I recently found out about it a few months ago when I published my book, and I had the grateful honor to share with some new people today who are going to be publishing their book. So the purpose of today, I think I left. Yeah, you get messages, sir. Sorry about that. I get sidetracked. I'm a little nervous.
I'm happy.
Yeah. So the reason why this whole thing is about is this word right here, traumedy. Traumedy is a word that I created a year and a half ago. I had a coach, and anyone who wants to be amazing in life, you have a coach. Think about Oprah Winfrey. Think about Michael Jordan. Anyone who's done anything, they've had a coach, right? So my coach said, "Well, Tina, you need to write a book." I'm like, "I'm not writing a book. I don't need a book. I gotta make money." That's all I kept saying. I gotta make money. I gotta make money. And he's like, "Well, Tina, a book will lead you to making money." But that wasn't my main thing. Pretty much, he said, you have to share your story. So if you didn't know my story, in a nutshell, Wednesday coming up, February 26th, will mark 9 years that my son was tragically murdered. He was 21 years old when he was murdered. Absolutely amazing kid, right? But the night that it happened, I realized I could go down that road of destruction, despair, never get up, never do anything, or I could push through. And I decided, he's saying, "Yo, mom, you got to get up. You can't, be stuck." So it was very, very challenging for me. And speaking today, 9 years later, I have done so many things to push through the pain, from yoga, meditation, breath work, you name it, I've done it. But I've seen a lot of women who are hurt, who are stuck, not just from the loss of a child, but maybe divorce, maybe who knows what it is, right? Because you can't compare someone's emotions. And I used to be that way when it first happened. I was like, "Well, you just lost a job, it doesn't matter." But you don't know what someone feels, right? And if you didn't know, and as I'm in this store, I don't know about you, the longer I'm in it and the more I really embrace what I'm feeling. Like, if you didn't know, she said all the pieces here are from Ghana. And if you know anything about Africa, again, don't call me, I didn't do much research. But is it correct that Ghana is where they originally took us from as Black people and took us into slaves? Is that correct?
It's one of the
One of the ports, okay. And then I was speaking with the guy up front, and he said something, the door of no return. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of anything like that, like once you leave. And I said, "Well, what does it feel like?" Because being an American, I don't know what it's like to be, a slave or from Africa. And he said, the feeling there, it's a sad pain, but it's also a good feeling, because yes, it's the pain of being taken away, but the good pain of how we've actually pushed through all that. So it made me feel really good. And that makes me come to today. My first book, which is this one here, No More Traumedy. And this book shares a little bit of my story. And at the end, something I wish I had 9 years ago. All the things that I learned of how to get over a traumedy, like I told you, from the yoga to the breath work to being still. Because right after it happened, 2 weeks later, I went right back to work, because my thing was like, I gotta go, I gotta go. And every second of the day I planned, every minute of the day, I just kept going and kept going, because I was afraid of that pain, that feeling, right? So this book right here came out in November, and I did everything myself, because if you didn't know, someone's coming through. Come on in, come on. He's like, "What is going on? Get your book, whatever." um, I could not afford to get a whole publisher, right? It's kind of expensive. Yes.
I'm writing a book myself.
Yes.
Man.
Would you like to join us today?
I would love to join you.
What is your name?
Onesie Sapper. And you're telling you speaking on self-publishing?
Yes, yes.
Oh man.
Have a seat, make yourself comfy. So yes, when I had the idea, they're like, "Yeah, write your book." But I didn't have $5,000, $10,000 to write a book. I didn't have that, right? But I knew I had a story to share. But I knew someone who knew how to write a book. I said, "Yo, can you tell me what you did? Can you tell me what you did?" And I just started asking a bunch of people. I started Googling. I started doing all the things. This is actually my second book. My first book was just a journal. At heart, I'm a personal trainer. And every time I have a client come in, and I'd say, "Okay, did you do your homework?" And they're like, "Huh? What?" So what I did was I had a bunch of pieces of paper like this, and I wrote everything I wanted. And then I said to my friend Renee, "Can you turn this into a book?" She went on KDP, she did whatever. Boom. That was my first book. And then this book here we kind of did the same thing, but we wanted to get a bit bigger, right? And then this one here went even bigger. So, for example, now this book is in Barnes and Noble, it's in Walmart, it's in over 200 places just from like sharing the information. I say that to say this book shares what I did over 9 years. And if I would have known the stuff here 9 years ago, my life would be a lot different. I may have never gotten married to get divorced because hurt people, right? You're not supposed to make decisions when you're in a very bad state of mind. With that being said, when this book came out, someone said to me, "Well, Tina, children go through traumas too," and I was just like, "Okay, what's that got to do with me?" Um, After my son was murdered, I went up to all of his friends and I was like, "What did he tell you? What did he show you?" He actually owned a sneaker store in Rahway, New Jersey, very successful store. And then they had another one in Pennsylvania. So he was an entrepreneur and we created this creed right here. These are the things that he said. If someone's coming in, come on through. Hey. These are the words that I got from his friends or people that worked in the store. I said, "What did he teach you?" So we're gonna have some fun right now, get you guys going. I'm gonna say the words and then you guys repeat it. These are things that he said to his employees, to anyone that was around him. And when I started my boys nonprofit, I was never in a sorority, but you know how fraternities do all that, like, yes.
He was. I'm reading it just quickly, just quick list over, and he was coaching young men.
Exactly. He even mentored kids. He had kids come into the store, and this is at 21 years old. And I was like, "That's my son? Like, my son's doing it?" I couldn't believe it, right? When he was home, he was jumping around, doing all this stuff. And I was like, "Calm down." And he was like, "Yo, mom, when I'm at the store, when I'm out, I got to be professional." So when he was home, he was just acting crazy, right? So I always like to start all my events with this creed. These are things that he said to his employees, okay? So I'm gonna say it, and then you guys are gonna repeat after me, and you guys at home, hi Molly, hi Renee. All right, here we go. Are you ready, girl?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard one person. Let's are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So I'm gonna say it, and you guys are gonna repeat it after me. And I want his words in heaven. Wednesday will mark 9 years. I want his words to inspire you to create your own. Right? What are your lessons that you're gonna do for your life? Here we go. Here we go. On camera, I want to hear you or type it in. Here we go. I will be legit.
I will be legit.
I will be a man of my word.
I will be a man of my word.
I will do the right thing.
I will do the right thing.
I will have good customer service.
I will have good customer service.
I will present myself correctly.
I will present myself correctly.
I will respect my money.
I will respect my money.
I will take care of my family.
I will take care of my family.
I will strive to do better.
I will strive to do better.
I will do things on time.
I will do things on time.
I will make smart decisions.
I will make smart decisions.
I always say that's his way of saying, "Yo, Ma, don't forget about me," all right? When I get these feelings. With that being said, we're going to get started with today's presentation. And I have a special guest coming through, and it really warms the cockles of my heart when I know that I've made a little difference in the world. And that's why I do what I do. And that's all I want everyone to do is make a difference, right? So when I used to go to Agape in Rahway, New Jersey, we had this thing called trunk or treat. And this is when I first started. Yes.
My grandmother lived in Rahway. Is Agape on East Hazelwood?
Yes, it's a huge church.
Yeah, it's a mega church.
Yes. Well, it's not a mega church. It's a mega like. It's big. Let me tell you something. I didn't want to join the church when it first came to town because I was like, they taking up the whole block. They're all big. I went to Little Friendship, but my kids were like, "Mom, we want to go to church." So I went to Agape because of my kids. I didn't want to go, and it's absolutely amazing. Don't get me started on church, right? Agape Church right now, Transformation Church. Pastor Mike, I love him. If you guys don't know, go on YouTube. Anyway, I was doing my trunk or treat, and at the time, I was a personal trainer. So I had all these things, push ups, sit ups, a little station, and this little kid was out there, and he was doing one-handed push ups. And I was like, "Yay!" So last month, I came to Rahway, I don't know what for, and I'm at this Black History Day event, and I hear this person speaking, and he was better than everybody there. It's very hard to impress me. Let me tell you that. As he's speaking, I'm like, "Yeah!" I'm in the stand. I'm like, "Yeah, go more." And at the end, I went up to him, and his mom's like, I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And she's like, "Is your son here?" And she said he was the one speaking. What? He was this little. When I remember him, and he spoke so well, and I'm going to have him come up here today. You're speaking of what again? What's the name of the?
Oh, Dr. King's Life's Blueprint speech.
So, Dr. King's blueprint speech is what he will be sharing with us today. He is a senior at Union Catholic. He's going to be, I see a future Denzel, okay? He doesn't know this yet, guys. As my daughter would say, yo, Ma, you're a pusher. A pusher. If you want something done, come to this girl. Right, Rasheeda, with your book coming out. If you tell me you want to do something, you know how they say, be careful what you wish for? It's going to happen. Did you do this? Did you do that? All right, YouTube, are you guys ready? I need you guys to write in the chat. I see Bella Bella. Hi, Bella. I see my mother. I don't know who Petty is. Petty what? No. Anyway, Petty channel, guys, kids, you need to know and party like a Diddy party. I don't know what they think a Diddy party is, but I'm going to need you to delete that. Renee, I don't know. That's Petty. That's not a good party, right? Okay, that's not a good party. That's not a good party. We got a good party happening here. Okay, crew. So I need you guys to make some noise. Actually, go on the other side so it looks good so you can I'll tell you, when I get my production staff, it's gonna be much better. All righty, crew. So I'm so excited. Make some noise. Make some noise. Yeah.
Hi,
I
YouTube.
love it. Hold on a second. I want you guys to get the full view. All right. Boom. There you go. Can you see?
Hi, YouTube. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Justice Tyler, and as you know, I'm a senior in high school. I want to start by thanking Miss Tina for inviting me to take part in this program. I think this is an amazing way to support each other and to celebrate our heritage during Black History Month. She asked me to share a little bit about myself and my goals for the future. And I'm going to share an excerpt, as you know, Dr. King's Life's Blueprint speech. I live with my mom, dad, and my sister. I've always had a lot of energy, and I love performing for others. I'm so passionate about it, and it's such a dream come true to be here. My mom says I've been dancing since before I could walk. That's true. I'm grateful to my parents because they've always been my biggest supporters and biggest cheerleaders in my corner. Even though they would have to often remind me, when I was younger, you can't break out into song in the middle of math class. I mean, doesn't everybody get a little bit of work done when they're listening to Michael Jackson? It's me.
All right.
So they found ways for me to place my energies elsewhere, in sports, in math class, apparently, in dance classes, and in martial arts. Then, in my freshman year of high school, I joined my school's performing arts company. This is where I found my true love, acting. But more than that, I found community. I found a new level of confidence. I found myself and a future that I could truly be excited about. Prior to my freshman year in high school, there were times that I struggled in academics and even socially. There were times I dreaded going to school. I felt like I was just surviving. Thankfully, my parents recognized that. And they made the decision and sacrifice to change my schools and ultimately the path of my life and my sister's life. Now I look forward to spending time with my friends at school. I get honor roll every marking period since my freshman year, and I get to do what I love every day as a part of my performing arts company. I also still enjoy sports as a member of my school's track team. In May, I will be graduating. I look forward to starting college in the fall and studying theater full time. Just like Dr. King, I also have a dream. My dream is that one day you will go to a show on Broadway and you will see me performing on the stage.
Woo woo. Yes, yes.
My dream is that one day you'll go to a movie theater and see my face on the big screen. and read my name in the credits, not just as an actor, but as a producer
Okay.
and as a director.
Yes.
My dream is to one day step on stage to receive an Oscar, Emmy, Tony, or Grammy Award.
You are hearing that? Yes. Yes.
My dream is to then pour back into my community by helping families who have food insecurities or who may need housing. I also look forward to coming back to my community to mentor and support other young people.
That boy, mama.
With my dreams and goals. Teaching them principles that I have and I'm about to share with you. Here's Here's Dr. Martin Luther King's Life's Blueprint speech. This is the most important and crucial period of our lives. For what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether or not you have a proper, solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Never allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's purpose will be. Once you discover what it will be, set out to do it, and to do it well. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best at whatever you are. Finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal stair. But we must keep going. We must keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time today. Thank you, Christina, for allowing me to speak.
Don't you done? Okay. Well, I thought you were gonna leave. Like, don't leave yet.
No.
So I told you I'm a pusher, right? So when it comes to not quitting, my daughter was a dancer. My son he liked to do everything. And I remember when he would go on auditions, I would make them not make them, but they went together, and people thought they were twins. And sometimes she would get picked and he wouldn't get picked. So one audition, he didn't get picked, and he started crying. And they were like, "Okay, you go to the next round," just to make him feel good. My point is, don't quit. Everything that you want, Justice, is gonna happen, right? I just see it. And my son did the acting and modeling thing all the time, but he wanted to do something else. And what he did push through. So, guys, make some more. Love it. Thank you for rolling through. Can you give this to Dante for me back there so he could set it up? Oh, okay. Anyway. So let's get this party moving on. So I need you guys to do this right now. If you didn't, I know the people in here, subscribe on YouTube, share it out so we can go live. So we're already live to share it out. The next person we have coming through, she has her book. We're in pre-launch season for all these other, for these speakers right here. And anyone here ever heard of Lisa Nichols?
Yes.
Lisa Nichols, if you don't know, sorry, girlfriend, Lisa's amazing, guys. Lisa Nichols is, in my opinion, the best motivational, inspirational, transformational speaker. So you have different speakers in the world. You have a regular speaker where you go to work and you got to talk about this right here. That's just an informational speaker. Anyone can do that. It can be boring. Then you Sorry, guys. Anyway, a motivational speaker is someone that's going to motivate you. Like when I teach fitness classes, come on, let's go, push another push up, come on. That's great. We all can do that. But motivation doesn't last, right? When I'm in front of you, I'm motivating you, but when I'm gone, you're going to sleep, you're eating those bonbons. So you go from informational, motivational to inspirational. So I inspire people. My goal is to inspire you to be the best you that you can be so that you can do all things. But guess what? I mean, a little bit more than that, guys. Transformation. My goal, my purpose is to transform you to be that butterfly, whatever it is. But with that being said, I went to Lisa Nichols' event in California. And the wild thing is, I just want to be real with you guys. I didn't come for money. It was a struggle bus. It's still a struggle bus for me now. But when you want to do something in life, you're going to make it happen, right? And this particular time, she had her event in California. California's not cheap, if you guys don't know. Hotels, Airbnbs, whatever, whatever. And at that time, what month was that? Do you remember?
June.
June. In June, I had 3 or 4 events that month that I wanted to go to. One was in Florida, one was in California, one was in, did I say Georgia? In Georgia, in 3 different states. And I'm just like, okay, Tina, maybe you're not going to do this. But when you have someone by your side that believes in you, okay, I can push through. And I have my supporting partner, call her Renee. She's there for me. And she's like, Tina, we can do this. And in my mind, I'm like, how in the world? I don't have money for this. I don't have money for that. If God puts it in your mind to do, you can actually do it. Can you believe one of the events that I went to, which was in Florida? It was some conference. I got a client. That client was the highest paying client I ever got. Why? Because I had the mindset here. Anything you want starts here in your life. He was a speaker on stage, and anyone who's gone or done what I want to do, I'm interviewing you. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Quest nutrition bars. All right. So he was the owner of Quest, and then he went to do Legendary, whatever. So I'm talking to him, and my question was, what is it that you want to do? And he says, I want to speak on stages. Now, if there's a panel of people, it's easy to talk, right? But to get in front of that camera, to be on that stage, 1,000 people, that's scary. So he was saying how he was going to hire a young person to teach him on how to speak. Now, mind you, at this point, I just won Toastmasters. I did Lisa Nichols. So, oh my, I got this. So I said to my daughter, I was like, do you think I can coach him? And she said, well, do you think you can coach him? And I was like, yeah. No idea. I'm not coaching. I mean, I coached my daughter. I had a modeling and talent company years ago. So I've been doing the coaching forever. Anyway, I got him as a client. So I say that to say I didn't have the money at the time to even go to the event. So with that being said, I went to Lisa Nichols' event in California and I met this beautiful queen right here. And Lisa Nichols is that person that transforms your life. Kind of like Tony Robbins. Anyone here ever heard of Tony Robbins? That's another motivational, inspirational, whatever speaker. And before my son was murdered, I always would send them videos, YouTube videos, like I did for your son. And we were supposed to go see Tony Robbins together. And my son was murdered in February. The Tony Robbins event was like in April or May. So I was like, I'm not gonna go because son just died, right? But someone's like, you gotta go, Tina, you gotta go. So I went by myself. My daughter was there, but I was actually in the event by myself. The point is, Tony Robbins does this thing where he has you walk on fire, walk on coal, hot coal. So thousands of people in the room. Now, let me tell you how I got my ticket. Again, I don't have money like that. Tickets start at $700. At the time, I was doing personal training. I love personal training. And the people at the gyms that usually do personal training, they have money. So I'm training my client. At the end, I always stretch them. And I'm always talking about this and that. And I'm talking about Tony Robbins. And he says, yeah, Tina, have you ever seen Tony Robbins? And I was like, yeah, because the tickets are 7,000, whatever. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, if you find a ticket, I'll buy it for you. You know, I got him that ticket the same day. He bought the ticket. And the reason is people love to give, right? When you give, it just comes back, and that's something that Tony teaches you. I say that to say, I'm in this event, and for the entire day, he's getting our mind together because we're going to walk on fire that night. All day, got us doing these chants, got us laying on the floor, like all this stuff all day long. So my daughter's like, "Where are you, Mom?" She's coming back to the building. It's 11, 12 o'clock at night. Now, the way he had us lined up in a long line, and he had the fire and the coal, and people there putting coal, just making it hotter and hotter. Because all you did, pretty much you just walk across it like that. So we're in line, and he had us chanting whatever, I don't remember, but it's da 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 da, and then you walk, and he's saying, "Look up, don't think about it, just go." So my daughter's like, "Where are you, Mom? Where are you?" I'm like, it's huge." So next thing I know, she calls me back, she's screaming, she's like, I did it. And I remember, I was there all day. All this stuff. And she just went out, she just following the crowd. She just like, okay. And then she just went across the fire. My point is, if you're following the crowd that is doing what you want to do, you can do it. Not to say you don't have to study, you don't have to prepare, but I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Now I haven't been to another Tony Robbins event since then, but I make sure I pour into myself all the time. Eric Thomas, amazing. I don't know, have you guys ever heard of Eric Thomas? Google him right now. Come on now. Eric Thomas, phenomenal. Another person. So I made it my point to make sure that I don't not only see them virtually, because YouTube is your YouTube University, right? I wanted to see them in person. A few years ago, there were a few people that I said I wanted to see, like Les Brown, like Madge, like all these phenomenal people. I can't think of it now, but I was at this event and it was the end of the year, and this goes with like, yes, you found him?
Yes.
Eric Thomas, how bad do you want it? Find that video right there. Find that video right there. How bad do you want everything in your life? I don't care if it's a husband. I don't care if it's to be thin, an actor, model. You can do anything. But my point is, this particular year, there were a few people I wanted to meet, and Les Brown was one of them. And I'm at this event, and this guy's like, "I got some surprise people coming on stage." Every single person I wanted to meet was on stage. And then there was this one woman, Lisa Nichols, who I always wanted to meet, but she stopped touring. Like that was her thing. Yes.
It's about a 15-minute speech.
Actually, it's really 7 minutes, but that's just a fancy one. Watch it when we leave. I love your energy. Yes, later you can watch it. So Lisa Nichols was one of the people I just wanted to hear her speak. That's it. I wanted to be in the audience. And my friend Renee, she looked, nothing. And then this is why it's so important, family, to surround yourself with community, right? She started doing free events online. So a friend slash whatever said, "There's a free event with Lisa Nichols online." I tuned into it. Again, going back to, it doesn't matter how much money you had. She had thousands of people. And she said, "If you want to get into the VIP, it's $99. I think it was $99, right?
Yeah.
Now this was for a 5-day challenge. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I just put out a credit card, boom, $99. Day one, I was sold. Because usually when you do things, it's like to get you to buy something else. Like today, you buy my book. After you buy my book, you join my coaching program. Yes.
Oh, yeah. How much?
25. You can get it today. You can money, cash, check, all that sort of stuff. So in this particular, yes, exactly. So in this coaching program that she has free online, it's $99. And I'm like, $99 for my phone bill, for gas in my car. No, Tina, you believe in Lisa, you're going to do it. So I paid the $99. Day two, she's talking about her program, and I'm saying to myself, I know it's going to be thousands of dollars for her real 6-week program or whatever. And I'm like, okay, Tina, you don't have thousands. How are you going to do this? When you make a decision in your mind to do something, you're going to make it happen no matter what. So by day 4, she started dropping. It's going to be $3,000, but if you pay in full, it's $2,000. And I'm like, anyone ever heard of Mel Robbins or a book called 5-Second Rule? This book pretty much says if there's something you want to do, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. Because after the 5 seconds, you're going to get scared and you're just not going to do it. So I said, you know what, Tina? You ever, they have these telethons where they like do donations and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, T, you could go on Instagram and Facebook and just ask for donations. So I said, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Instagram. I want to go to Lisa Nichols. Blah, blah, blah. I got that $2,000 in 2 days. I was able to go to California to see Lisa Nichols. Now, not only, guys, I'm telling you, did I not see her? I got to dance with her. I got to party with her. We got pictures with Lisa. Hey, when you're around these people, anyway, Dr. Nordia, get up here. I remember. I'm sorry. I met this woman there in California, and she lives in Newark, right? And I did an event in September in Rahway, New Jersey. I don't live in Jersey anymore, but I still have roots here, right? I love it. And I'm doing my event in Rahway. I have the camera in one hand, the microphone in this hand. I'm trying to go live. Oh, Tina, I'm like, hold on a second. And she's like, Tina, do you need some help? I'm like, I only met her once in California. She helped me with that, right? That's why we have to help each other. Sometimes people act like crabs in a bucket, just trying to get out, but we're the ones that are pulling each other out. So I'm pulling her up to us right now because I saw that she was releasing her book. I'm like, girl, we're going to be in North. Come through. So I want to present her to you right now. Make some noise, guys. Yeah, she's a doctor.
Hello, everyone. It is so good to be here. I love the energy. Like, we're just like opposites. She has so much energy, and I'm just calm. I'm like the water. Okay, so what most people know about me is that I am the recipient of a doctorate degree. I am the president and founder of a nonprofit youth organization in New Jersey where we mentor youth who have suffered loss of their parents. I am also the recipient of a Global Leadership Award. I'm the recipient of a Women Empowerment Award. I am also the recipient of a proclamation from the New York State Senator, Kevin S. Parker. And I'm also the recipient of a citation from New York as well. But see, it wasn't always that way. It was June 2nd, 2012. I was in my psychology of addiction class that Saturday morning. My professor asked me, she said, Nordia, can you open in prayer for us? And I said, sure. After that, my phone just kept ringing and ringing. So I put it, you squeeze the button and I put it on silent. And then it just kept vibrating again. So I picked up. And when I looked at the phone, it said, babe. So immediately, because right then I had rushed to class because we were on the phone what seemed to be all night having a conversation. Because what had happened was he had went to his mother's house for the weekend with our two sons. At the time, they were 4 years old and 6 years old. So we stayed on the phone all night. So I was tired. And I picked up the phone and I said, babe, I'm in class. I hung up because I had to pay attention. I was already late. The phone kept vibrating again. And at this point, I'm getting annoyed and I'm looking at the phone and I grabbed the phone and I said, babe, and then I heard my son's voice. And the voice was on the phone and I said, hello? And the voice said, Daddy won't wake up. And I said, what do you mean Daddy won't wake up? And the voice again of my son said, Mommy, Daddy won't wake up. So I told him, I said, call the ambulance. Call the ambulance. Is the ambulance there? Meanwhile, the whole class, they're staring at me just like you're staring at me right now. And he said, the ambulance is here. I said, the ambulance is there? Did they take him to the hospital? Why haven't they taken him to the hospital? And he said, Mommy, the ambulance is still here. I said, let me speak to someone. Hello? On the phone. It was the paramedics. He said, Mrs. Hawkins? I said, hello? Why haven't you taken my husband to the hospital? Why are you still there? At this point, my heart is racing and my heart is beating. My heart is beating louder than the sounds of the African drums. And I'm saying, take my husband to the hospital now. And this man is on the phone like, are you sitting down, Mrs. Hawkins? Would you like us to come get you? And I'm, sir, take my husband to the hospital. He's asking me, well, how soon can you get here? And at this point, I'm staring at my professor. I'm staring at everyone. I grabbed my bag. I grabbed my keys. I rushed out of the class and I rushed to my car. Meanwhile, I'm on the phone and I'm yelling at this man to take my husband to the hospital. I stepped on the brake, the car, the gas, whatever it was, and I was just going. I was going 100 miles per hour on the highway because I had to get to my husband. Because why haven't you taken him to the hospital? So while I'm still on the phone, I heard nothing that man was saying anymore. I completely just blacked out. All I kept yelling is take him to the hospital because, see, in the back of my mind, I did not want to deal with the fact that my husband was no more. I pulled up at his mother's house. And when I got there, I saw crime scene investigators. I saw the ambulance. I saw some friends and family members. There were a crowd of people outside of his mother's house. Immediately, I opened the car door and I ran inside to the room. I could not tell who was there. I just ran straight because I had to get to my husband. When I walked in that bedroom, my husband was on the bed. His phone was right here, and he was stretched out. He was stiff, stone dead. That moment, my legs began to shake. My arms were moving as if the leaves in the wind. And, and I fell. Someone caught me, a friend of mine. And then when I came back to, in that moment, what I realized is we need support. We need community. We need people to catch us when we fall. We need someone who is stronger than us when we are weak. That's what I learned in that moment. And see, because of all those lessons that I learned when I was going through what was the worst turning point of my life, because of those lessons, today I'm committed to be that support. I'm committed to build that community. And it doesn't matter what's going on around me, I will be that strong one to help to catch you when you fall. After all of that, that's why I decided to start my organization for the youth. See, the youth that I mentor, the youth that comes to me, they too lost their parents. They lost a mother, they lost a father. I can relate because I understand. I have wives that are widows. I have husbands that are widowers that I can relate to. I can be the person to catch them when they're weak and when they fall. Because of the transformation that I went through, today I stand here as a transformational coach and I can help others to transform their lives. And that's why I wrote my book. From my story that I went through, I birthed from wounds to wisdom. From wounds to wisdom is a memoir of my life. From wounds to wisdom, walked walked you through the path that I took, my journey, the pain, that I felt, the pain that I endured, having to raise two children, two boys on my own. My husband just went to sleep and not getting up. And it shows practical steps that I took to overcome those things. And today I can stand here as an overcomer. Today I can stand here to say that I was wounded, but I was not destroyed. Today I can stand here to say that those wounds have developed into the wisdom that I now have. Today I can stand here to show you that your past is not a life sentence. Your past is just a chapter in your story. Today, I can stand here to tell you to rise up, stand up. Do not sit in your story. Do not stand in it, but stand on it. For the future authors that are here, your story is your superpower. Stand on your story. Tell that story. Your life, the things that you went through can help others to transform their lives. Do not be ashamed. Transformation begins when you accept that your past is not a life sentence. It's not a life sentence. I could have stayed fallen. I could have stayed down, but I chose to rise up. I chose to stand up, and I chose to make a difference. Right now, from wounds to wisdom, it's powerful. When the editor was doing my book, she said, "This never happened before, but I cried reading your book." She said, "I cried tears reading your book." I had someone booked me for a speaking engagement for May. And when she said, "Your profile is very impressive, how can I have your book?" I said, "My book is not released yet, but it will be available on Amazon in March." And she said, "I want to pre order." She asked me to speak to mothers, single mothers that have gone through trauma, that have gone through struggles. I say this to say that if I did not experience that, I would not be able to teach that. I would not be able to do that. Sometimes the things that you experience in life are for your future. They make the way for your path to be clear for you to walk. And that's my story. Now I can stand, I will be able to stand before these women and tell them how I was able to do it as a single mother, as a widow. It's not easy, but it's possible. And how I know? Because I'm here today. I'm here today to tell you if you have a story, do not hold back. Put that story on paper, stand on it. That's your power. Now, with that being said, if you would like a copy of my book, it's available for pre orders. And I will sign that copy for you, and it will be available in March. It will be available on Amazon. I want to thank you guys for your time. I want to thank you for listening to my story, and I want to thank you for having me. Thank you, Stars.
Yes, that was a lot of bit heavy, but that's what life is about, right? It's heavy. It's like we're gonna take a quick little 3 minute break. I say 3 minutes because 3 minutes gonna turn to seven, and we're coming back because we gotta get this party started. As she said, her book is on pre-order. If you're online, Renee, do me a favor. Type in her information. My girl Renee's out there in land. If you want to purchase your book today, you can purchase it from me. The original, No More Traumedy, or the children's book here. We also have some music coming up later. But 3 minutes break. Let's go. We have some snacks. Make your way to the back. Also, don't forget the store, right? You see, don't you? You see all the beautiful stuff in here. Okay, go ahead. Let's go. Stretch your feet. Purchase something. Oh, let me get some music going.
You saw that?
Actually, the music's in my phone. So let me see. Dante, can you get some music?
The name of your book solely. I don't even know what I mean. It's an excellent name.
Traumedy.
Traumedy,
Traumedy, that's when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide.
Oh.
Are you
wow.
leaving us?
Huh?
Are you leaving us?
No. I came in the shop.
Okay, let's shop. Let's shop. Let's shop. Can you just play? Can you just play anything from here? Maybe like, yeah, like my phone is hooked up to the YouTube, so
What you thinking now?
I don't care. Is this your shirt?
Yeah.
Can I see? Can I see?
Absolutely.
Ooh, I love the color. Anybody else colors? I love this. Savannah.
I was shaking. Oh,
Dude, like,
Sorry.
I never. Well, this thing you have to get for me.
my daughter would be.
Oh, yeah. Are you gonna put it on Amazon?
It's already got it.
Okay, I definitely, I'm picking this up like right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm
I'm looking out.
I think she's a historian.
You, like, oh, no.
Black History Month event that's going on in middle school.
Yeah.
What time?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
More of the MW.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Excuse me. Do you mind trying to okay? You know how long I'm trying to get it? See?
Yeah.
Y'all just made me look sorry. Thank you. No, no, I couldn't open
Crackers
it
and
either.
cheese in the back.
Oh, okay. I don't feel bad.
Maybe we can bring the crackers and cheese in the back, maybe.
They're already in.
Oh. Oh, I'm not too sure what this one is. Cool. There's nothing coming up.
Let's go over here by the picture. All right, stand right here. Right here, right here. Where you going?
I'm sorry.
Come on, dude. He's trying to walk by.
Yeah, straight back. That brown door.
Yeah, the wooden door that looks like it's straight from Lowe's.
Yeah. Like they didn't even take the sticker tag off.
It was like a receipt that I balled up, and I was like, as soon as it left my hand, I was like, dang, I can't get that back.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I know I saved this for you, but
Well, there's snacks in the back.
Oh, come on. YouTube ain't coming up.
Yes, yes.
me and Dante. Dante is not gonna go that long. And y'all know your mother. I'm gonna give in depth. I'm gonna do what I do. And then
Why are you lying?
I'm not gonna go that
I'm
long.
not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go in depth. What's the difference?
In depth succinct. Because we're gonna end it for that.
She's gonna end it for that.
Oh, nobody else. He does.
You gonna cut his time short.
He said he's gonna be short anyway.
His is gonna be shorter than a rap song on the radio.
He's
You're gonna hear, my name is, and that's the end of it.
No, that's not what he's gonna do. Shut up. Dante, these are my children, as you can tell.
How you doing? All right. I'm trying to
Grown and grown.
So,
Grown and grown.
grown and grown.
Grown and grown.
I'm 12.
Not you, but he's really your children for real?
Yeah, he's 30, she's 28,
Get
about
out of here.
29. These are my kids.
That look like siblings.
No, those I birthed those.
What? All right. No, for real though. I would have.
Yeah,
If that's a
those are my grown ups.
Oh, we find out. Shoot out.
Yeah, no, no.
Found a youth out there, huh? That's your book. That's your book. The Found a Youth. Yo, for real. I'm not even trying
And
to
that's my
really.
nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 34.
How you doing, Dante?
Yeah.
Likewise.
My I call her my twin because we're the same age from my birthday to her birthday. We're Irish twins.
All right.
But that's my oldest sister's. My second is six of us, and the second one. That's
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have six sisters. It's six of us. I have five sisters.
They all came up in New York too, right?
Yeah, we all New York.
Right.
No, we all New York.
Okay. I don't know how this is not your number.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if you. It's just not.
You
don't see it up.
I pressed the button. You know, it's just not. I tried to put down.
Sometimes you gotta click it a certain way. That's
I
sometimes
click the Bluetooth button. Sometimes you hold it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not there.
Soundcore. It's not coming.
It's not coming. I heard players who like that. I've heard people. Yeah, I was like,
So how much is this one?
Make sure you. I don't know what the.
Oh, that's not bad.
listen, if you get half of it by the time you
And it's very little. That's a very little number.
if you
5,
get
10, 15.
how would you get it 1,500? It's less.
How much?
Almost.
And ask them how much is this one?
Yes.
I know I love Florida.
Also.
My kids don't, but I'm
The green.
Not neither.
The green
Mm-mm.
and the white dress.
This is this, right? Soundcore.
You know what? Her Bluetooth might be on her phone. It might.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
That's
Not gonna lie.
It's connected to her phone. And
Right.
now she's on whatever.
That's what it is. Because your Bluetooth. Sorry.
My Bluetooth's hooked up.
Connected. I can't get in, so you have to like.
All right, I guess we're not listening to music then. All right, let's get started. Career round 2. Go ahead.
Little Debbie.
Doing well.
I will let her know. Argentina as always.
Yes. Thank you. We'll be hugging forever, girl.
I know we will.
Next time I come back, let's meet up.
Take care.
All right, let's get away.
Y'all stupid.
2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes.
All right.
2 minutes.
Take care.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand y'all.
Okay. Wow, they still have? I love y'all.
Thank you.
That's a whole basketball.
I can't see. I don't have my number.
I can barely see through the
I know, but yeah. Then for the morning, and I was like,
You like nothing.
yeah. I never want it because I don't want to do it. But if somebody wants to do it for me, I mean, if I could put you in my pocket and take you everywhere and then pull you out and be like, look at that, and then put it in my pocket, like, hello. You all right?
I'm good. Yeah. She's trying not to do it on camera.
Huh?
She was trying not to get it on camera.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Y'all don't want that for me?
Girl.
Yeah, I just don't. Most of the
Well, after.
Who's the one here? I want that.
Yeah. Yes. We have to try to
Oh, y'all did that?
Yeah.
Why not? Oh,
So we took the train to the Port Authority and then took the bus. No, it's not that.
It used to
I
be.
know, I think you
I heard that it's starting to come back. It's starting to come
The biggest thing is the bar we were at,
So like,
I had no idea. The 24th?
all right, let's get started, crew. We're starting. You leaving?
Oh, yeah.
All righty. Who did I say was next? All right, guys, you ready? Let's have a seat. You're up next, right? Okay. All right, guys. So hold out. Wait a minute. You two, we are back. We are back.
No, no.
No, she's not in the camera. All right, have a seat. I see everyone's got their little food here. Are you guys still saying? We must be doing good, guys, because people aren't leaving. Mr. Mwanzi, you're not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
Okay, Mwanzi not leaving.
I'm
He
not
reminds
leaving.
me of that comedian. No, who's the comedian he sounds like? What voice is that?
I'm trying to bring him up.
What's the comedian?
I'll put him up. A bag, sit down and listen. Take notes.
Who's the comedian he sounds like? Oh, I don't know. You know that.
Dr. King speaking to me. You.
All right, guys, we are starting right now again. People in the back getting their food. But I want us all to start making our way. Hold on to your seats. Yesterday, hold on to your seats. Monty, get it together. Are you joining us? Oh, you. Monty, hurry up. Hi, Carla. Hi, Bliss Hair. This is so good, right? It's gonna get better. Let me tell you. Now, ladies, gentlemen, get ready. Hold on. Put your seatbelts on. All right, in the back, let's hustle. Come on, crew. Let's go. Let's get it together. So, Monty, hustle. All right, guys. So, as I said earlier, it takes a lot.
All right.
A lot to Monty. Shh. Why? This man just walked in the store and I just like, anyway, um, it takes a lot to impress me, right? It takes a whole lot. And when I first met this person, again, I just think everything that I'm doing is from God up above because I didn't plan to write a book. I didn't plan to empower people or to empower children. Just finished the event in Broadway, and I told you the client that I had, he had donated protein bars to the event. Of course, they didn't come the day of the event. They came the day after the event. So I was like, okay, so I have all these bars, like over 100 protein bars. I'm like, well, what am I going to do with these things? So I say, I'm going to take them to the rec center where we had the event. So I go to the rec center, I'm dumping off these bars, and I say, so I go to the rec center to drop off the bars, and I see some people coming out. It's two men and a lady, and they've got books and notebooks. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they said, oh, we have a nonprofit. We speak to children. We do blah, blah, blah. And my head is like, move to the camera, move the camera over. Move the camera over where, mommy?
Over more. Yeah, yeah, right there.
Okay. All right. um, so I'm there, and again, I hear that God has got me wanting to speak to these people because I don't live in Jersey, but I want to keep empowering the people in New Jersey. So I said, hey, would you like to speak? I have another event. And we were text talking for a while, and then he spoke at a school. There's a school in Jersey City that I had the opportunity to speak with, and he went there. Long story short, he spoke at another event, and I could feel his heart, right? And when I heard him speak, I was like, oh, he's got a gift and a talent. And I was like, you ever think about writing a book? And he was like, you know what? People tell me that all the time. Hey, maybe it doesn't sound like that. Has anyone here ever thought they could write a book? Think about writing a book? Want to write a book? Okay. You can write a book at any age, right? I've met so many children, 8 years old. I'm like, really? You come, yes, have a seat over there. Come on, come on. Have a seat. You got a big crowd in here. It's crowded. Seat. All right, seats are taken. Have a seat. It's crowded here. Come on, sit. All right. Anyway, guys, uh, everyone can write a book, and there's something in you. So, and long story short, he's more than an author. His book's going to be coming out the end of the year, but he just touches the hearts of children, and today is going to be his record song release. Yes, song release. He's had his song in his heart, and I want him to come up here and share a little bit about himself. Men don't cry.
Why men?
Does a man cry? Do you cry?
I
It's a yes or no question.
I do.
Thank you. Do you cry? Do you cry? What about you?
Of course.
Thank you for that confident answer back there, okay? Okay. For some reason, men are afraid to feel, right? And this is such a man's man. I'm so excited to bring him up here. I'm going to stop talking. Dante, I forgot his last name, but that's okay. Is it Hill? No. Howell. All right, make some noise.
How everyone doing?
Hey.
You too. How you doing? I'm not gonna be before you long, and like Star Tina said, I've done things. I'm a speaker more on the inspirational side. I mentor and I coach from like prisons, shelters, traveled. I traveled. This is what it's like. It just kind of I didn't even plan to do it. I kind of like stumbled into it, and then when I recognized, I was like, oh wow. And I saw the effect and the fruit, and getting letters from prison or parents or whatever. I just started realizing, whoa, like this is something I have. It's something I got to do here, you know. And so, but I'm gonna give a little bit of background to frame things because I always feel like backstory makes the story have fullness, you know. So, born and raised New York. Right. You know, New York is New York. You know, like you have to like if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. That's not a cliche. So growing up in New York, you know, lived in all five boroughs in my lifetime. So I don't really claim one. Wherever I'm at, I'm there. I'm a hybrid. But all that to say, you know, in coming up in New York, I don't know if any people know, but New York did not have gangs like LA, but we had gangs. Me personally, and you know, they had everything from like the D-Snaps, the Autobots. Like I'm talking like that era to then when the Bloods and Crips came and all the Latin Kings and the Anthos. I never chose a gang. The reason why was because I was always a little different, but I was in the street, but I was also academic. So I was a little bit of a mixture. I was families mixed. I just was. It was like I was not enough for this, not enough for that. But I was a bit of everything. But I also was always about being authentically me. You know what I mean? No matter where I went. You know, obviously, if you're on a certain, I've been in corporate, I've been in the streets. I did things in the streets that, you know, not proud of, but I did what I had to do. But I always knew how to like conduct myself. I traveled a lot from like the age of like 5. You know, I'm in Europe. I've been in Asia. I've been in Africa. I've been around. My mom, my mom was really, not saying, my pops didn't have anything, but my mom was really big on that. Education, education, education. No such word as can't. No such word as can't. Drilling me. And I used to write when I was young. I was pretty decent. So when the book thing came up, I was like, I heard that from when I was a kid, and I was like, I didn't do enough to really do a book. I always felt like you had to do something impactful for you to say you can write a book. But then when I reflected and people come back to me over the years, or people tell me, you know what you did for me? People coming to, you know what you did when we were in high school with this? I'm like, really? I had people tell me like, you helped me not go back to prison. You helped me to find my way, because I used to have this crew. Like I was always like, people try to recruit me to start my own set, gang stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't. My thing is, if I don't know the foundation of what your gang started about, and if your gang did start about something positive to protect the community, but then now it's this that we hurt in the community, well, I want to be part of that. So for me, it was all logic. So anyway, I had this little team. It was a multicultural team, because in New York we have the melting pot. So I had the Italian crew, because everybody said white or black or Spanish. No, you got the Italian, you got the Irish, you got the Polish, you got the Russian, then you got the Dominican, the Puerto Rican, you got the Colombian, then you got, what I'm saying, then you got the African American South, then you got the Caribbean, then you got you got the Trinity, you got the guy, you got everything. You know what I'm saying? So the Asian, got the Japanese, the Korean. I was around that. So I really had like a crew, because I was around a lot of people. And my thing was like, I used to look at the world. I was like, we didn't grow up in any like religious, I didn't have any like religious programming that I grew up in. So I was trying to find my way, but I always knew there was something more. So I had the crew. I was like, look, the system is messed up. Why, if we just do it as separate races, we're not gonna be as powerful. But and this is, I'm talking like high school, like freshman year, like no, like, and I'm like, yo, if we all come together, you Asian, you black, you this, you that, and the different facets of wherever your background, we could change it. I had this Robin Hood mentality, but I don't know where I got it from. So I was like really, even when I was hustling, I wasn't really the corner guy. I'm like, why are we on the corner? They know what we're doing. You getting caught like, and then now you talking or back. Well, I was in an era where they didn't talk as much, but they still would snitch a little bit. But and I was always about code and principle. Long story short, I had this whole organized situation going on, 5 boroughs a little bit, and I was bringing people together that didn't even talk to each other. Long story short, going to why the book is going to be called Man Cry, is I didn't realize in hindsight, which is they say is 2020, a lot of the guys, whether they was come from money, no money, a little bit of money, everybody. I ain't really trying to do that, but I felt like it's improv. This is a shirt. It's called Royal by Nature. I titled it, and it got the lion. And the quote that I get quotes a lot, and the quote I have is, "One thing we all have in common is pain." You know what I mean? Like I don't care what we all bleed, but one thing we all have in common is pain.
That's true.
And so that was how people gravitated toward me, because I learned how to turn my pain to champagne. And
Say that
and
again.
that's like my life thing. Like, I have a lot of different pain and things I've experienced too. But I was like, I can't make it make me. You know what I mean? It's helped make some like define me. No, refine me, not define me. So that's how I look at pain. And then my motto is I gotta turn like if it don't make sense, like I can't understand why this happened to me, or why is this happening. If it don't make sense, I gotta make it make dollars, not necessarily money, but I gotta add value to me or whoever's around me. So that's my story in a nutshell. Why the book was like a thing for me, and I do music. I was in the music industry stuff and ghostwriting. I did a lot of things. My partner, they bailed him out of jail, Def Jam at the time. He went and get locked back up. That was like my calling card when I was like at a crossroad. Like, you're gonna do music, you're gonna do streets, you're gonna do corporate. What you gonna do? Won't go into all that, but the book will tell you. So then the man cries this. I'm gonna do it in a poetry form, because I felt like it's an intimate crowd. I like the you got to know how to like read your audience and tap in. So I mentor and I coach, and a lot of the kids don't trust. A lot of them, I mean, this one kid, well now he's about 19, 20. He's been shot like about 4 times. He was locked up for like about 8 years. His first son didn't even see him born. Now he got a daughter. Just so many things I see, you know what I mean? My cousin just came home on the 20th, which is what, 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
20 years I raised his daughter.
Mm.
Never told him I was her father. You know who her daddy is. But I raised her. You know what I mean? And he just got home, and that's gonna be home. We haven't seen him yet. It's only been 2 days. But Man Cry came from all of my life experiences, and not just mine, the people I crossed paths with. So I'm gonna give you an a cappella version of the song that's gonna be this. The song will give you a snippet into what the book will be kind of touching on. The chorus of it goes like this. Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Tell me, does a man cry? And if he do, how it sound when a man cry? Now, does it make him weak or strong when that man cry? Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Tell me, does a man cry? And if he do, how does it sound when that man cry? Now, does it make him weak or strong when that man cry? Beer, wine, alcohol. This is how some grown men ball. Weed, crack, getting high. This is how some grown men cry. Gamble, hustle, lust, kill. This is how some grown men deal with the emotions trapped inside. Black or white, same pain inside. Some resort to suicide while others kill both you and I. Had a Kurt Cobain die and many more. Was that a cry? Silent tears of silent years. Nobody knows because no one cares. Silent till you can't take no more. Now it's loud and clear. Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Tell me, does a man cry? And if he do, how it sound when a man cry? Now, does it make him weak or strong when a man cry? Where I'm from, we don't cry. We smoke loud, trying to get by. Been down for so long, so all we ever wanted was to get high. Self-medicated, under the rated, underpaid, under-celebrated. We was told, never let them flow down your eyes, make the song cry. Lost many homies, ops be phony, never got the chance to say bye-bye. Polo left, straight shot better. That's the ghetto lullaby. Told us tears a sign of weakness. How we gonna release our demons? PSC got us tweaking. Paranoid like everyone's scheming. This can't be life. It can't be love. So what's the reason? Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Does a man cry? Tell me, does a man cry? And if he do, how it sound when a man cry? Now, does it make him weak or strong when that man cry?
Very good.
Thank
That's
you. You know,
awesome.
so making it real short, I like less is more. But basically in the book, it's gonna go through various things. Like there's different type of cry. You ever? Now I came up in a time where you got beat. Sometimes, you know. You ever got that beating? It was so bad where you did the solid cry. Nothing come out. Here's that kind of cry. That man cry. But and when I say man too, I'm gonna use, like, you know, they say man like humanity, because it's not just men. You know what I'm saying? Because we still all connected. One thing we all have in common is pain, right?
Right.
So it's not just for men, but it's a taboo that men can't show emotion, can't show vulnerability, can't show that level of transparency and still have his respect. Because for a man, love is respect. So that's why I'm going to emphasis a little bit more, because masculinity has been attacked in a certain way. And when you attack the masculinity or it becomes toxic, then what happens to our women and children? I'm a father. I'm a girl dad. And then I raised my cousin daughter as a girl. So I learned a lot of things about opening up a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And where things you couldn't, you know what I mean? In a way, in a balanced way, healthy way. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just want to thank Tina. I want to thank Dr. Nordia, Rasheeda, everyone that came out, my brother here. You know, I don't even want to say, Martin Luther King's ceiling will be your floor. So you're not gonna have to be a carbon copy, you're gonna be you. And that's what his inspiration was meant to do. So I just want to really say, like, the book is gonna be, I didn't want to do a book, I'll be honest with you. But you sparked me. So Tina sparked me. It was just like that. I couldn't run, and I've tried to run from it for a while. So I'm saying yes, and then hearing everyone so far, like you know what? We have something when we put it all together. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I had on my old, my dark files of like, we're gonna change Robin Hood style. We could do it in a different way. That's gonna be more positive and we collectively complement, don't compete. Right. You know what I mean? So that's me. That's what I'm about. I'm a executive director of an organization founded out of pain and trauma. It's called Project DNA. Project DNA Inc. We're on the Instagram, and these shirts, I got some shirts that we just pushing for sale, but it's really all about, what I'm saying. I have this saying, I say like, I'm a mess, Ender. I'm a mess, but I've got a message, you know what I'm saying? And people don't realize that you can't spell message without mess, right? So sometimes we want to be perfect. I remember I love my mom, but she was always big. Oh, you got this link, this, you got everything had to be right. You're black, you dark, you brown, black in this world, you gotta be and it's a true thing, you gotta go extra because it's not balanced. A lot of injustice systemically. But sometimes that put that pressure on you that causes a lot of weight that you already gotta carry and fight. So I say, I had to get comfortable in the last with the mess. Can't be perfect. And a lot of people don't let you be. They read a chapter of your book of your life and then they judge your whole book. And I feel like you can't. Books we surrounded by. None of these covers are gonna tell you exactly what the book is about till you get in there and read it. And not just read it. You also gotta tap into what you're reading, like almost like literally step into the book, feel it, and then come out and allow you. That's how you get understanding. You know what I mean? It's expensive, but understanding is priceless. You know what I'm saying? Because understanding, of course, you sacrificing your stance to stand under somebody else's perspective to see a different angle. And that's what the younger and the elder, the problem and the drama that happens between us is that the elders say, "Oh, I know everything," and the younger say, "I know everything." Nah, we all know something. If we put it together, we can know a lot of things. We may never know everything. But that's all I want to share. And thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for the platform, Stars Tina. I just want to just salute you and nothing but love.
Make some yeah. I'm so excited. Thank you. All righty, crows. So can I just say, here we go. There we go. So you guys know, like, I do all the things. So Dante, if you over there, I'm screaming. Like he's got all the full body sport going as he's talking. He's got the levels in the voice. Such a great speaker. Thank you.
I'm gonna give a free shirt out to say, you know what? It says royal by nature. One thing we'll have in common is pain. Let me see. Choose a large. We'll take a large. I don't want to just give you something that don't fit you. There's more. We got more. We got more to say if you want.
Here we go.
Right there.
First of all, I'm loving the lion. Yes. Right? So there's one. And by the way, here is his QR code if you guys want to pass it around so you can like get his stuff or come to the front. We're just gonna get this party just continually going, But I wanted to, as we're sitting back there and I heard Dr. Nordia share her story, and I heard Dante share his story. I'm always sharing my story. My daughter said to me, she's like, "Mom, you need to tell your story." I'm like, "Why? Nobody really cares or wants to hear it." And some of you know my story. Some of you don't know my story. Some of you have been a part of my story. And this is right here, guys. I know it's like all the way down here. But if you see on this beautiful retractable banner right here, this is a picture of my son, half of his face, half of a lion. And the reason why that came, that's why I said lion, I said rabbit, because his girlfriend, after he was murdered, she was like lion-hearted legend. She came up with that name because he was a lion that charged. So I just want to share a brief, quick story with you guys while we're here, right? Because it just makes me feel good. A year ago, 5 years ago, you wouldn't see this time of year. Whew, I'd get pulled over by the cops all the time because I'd be speeding. And one time the cop said, "Miss, maybe you shouldn't drive this time of the year." I was just like the angriest person in the world. There was like an ice box right here in my chest, right? Mwanzi, correct?
Yes.
Are you from Newark?
Born in Newark, raised in Plainfield.
Okay. He came back. I love it. Well, Mwanzi, let me tell you, we all have a hard life. right? But I don't know, I always find the joy and the happiness in everything, right? And when I was at the school, I spoke at a school in Jersey City. We went there the other day and we were speaking to a small group of people. And I decided to share a story from when I was in high school, right? And 15, 16 years old, you think you know it all. I was in love and make that story really quick. Um, I tried to kill myself when I was in high school because my boyfriend broke up with me, right? I know, crazy, crazy. It's crazy. But did you know that your mind isn't fully developed when you're a child? But I say that to say I always worked really hard, and I was a single mom. I had my daughter and my son, and no matter what it was, we had fun with it. I see my girlfriend Brooke here. I was telling you about modeling and acting, right? As a single mom, if you want your child to do all the things, you have to like have a tribe, like they say, right? This is the funniest story. My son was very thin, right? And I had him go on audition, and I was like, Brooke, can you take him on audition? I'm like, yeah, just go. And she calls me and she says, Tina, they have him on the runway in a speedo or whatever. Love it, she said. It was too funny. And I just had to share that because that was just such a funny time. We were always laughing. But I'm going to take you back really quick to 2016. And for me, it felt like I was finally at a point in my life where I was winning, right? Because it was always the struggle bus, struggle, struggle, struggle. So 2016, my daughter was living the best life for herself. She's a professional dancer, and at the time, she'd gotten a dream job. New York Knicks basketball team, she was a dancer for them. So she was loving life, doing all sorts of stuff. My son had a sneaker store, which was thriving. It was more than thriving. It was thriving so much, they opened up a second store in Pennsylvania. He was actually going to move from that location to a bigger location. And me, whew, you couldn't tell me nothing, guys. I had lost all the fat. I was just like, I was just loving life. I had just met this guy. So I was really like loving life. And this Friday night, I hung out with my girlfriends in Trenton and we're out at a restaurant and I was going to see the guy at his house. I was like, ow, I got a date. So I'm sitting on a couch and he's in the bathroom and I get a phone call and someone's screaming, something's happened to Molly, get to Rahway. And I was like, okay, whatever. Because if you have kids, don't they always get in trouble? It's like, yeah, whatever, whatever. And then my daughter called me and she's screaming, Mom, something happened to Molly, get to Rahway now. And I look at the phone, I'm like, okay, whatever. I gotta go. So I leave and I'm driving down the highway. I'm actually going down 1 and 9 because I was in East Brunswick or somewhere. And I'm driving down the highway and I call my son. He didn't answer. That wasn't a shock because he never answers my phone. You guys never answer the phone.
Please answer.
Right? Answer the phone. So I called the store, the sneaker store where he was, no answer. So I start calling all his friends. Nothing. I'm like, okay. I'm driving down the highway, so it's hard to drive. And now the drive from where I was to the shop was probably 40 minutes. So I'm trying to get his voice, so nothing, nothing. So I call his dad, sperm donor. I call his dad. I'm like, I don't know where Molly is. Call the hospital, call the police station, like find out where he is. He couldn't find out anything. So I'm driving. So I knew the mayor of Rahway, so I called him. I'm like, what's going on? No one's telling me anything. Where's my son? And he's like, where are you? And I remember this so clearly. There's this diner right outside of Menlo Park Mall. And I'm driving, and he's like, where are you? Same thing like you. What does it matter where I am? I said, I'm driving Rahway. And he's like, come to my office, which is City Hall. Now, mind you, I got the phone call at about 9:10. So it's probably like 9:30 now. City Hall is closed. Why am I going to City Hall? I'm like, okay, I'll meet you at City Hall. So I notice City Hall is closed. It's right next to the police station. So I run in the police station and I'm at the counter and I'm like, where's my son? The guy's in the back. He comes out all slow. What's your name? And I'm like, my name is Tina Wilson. Where's my son? And then he walks back and he comes back. What's your name? Now, my real name is Katina Wilson. So I'm like, it's Katina. I'm acting. He's not saying anything. I'm like, forget it. So I leave the shop. I get in my car. And now the store, the sneaker store, is right around the corner. If you're in Rahway, there's the police station, there's the post office, and the store is right there. So I start speeding down the road. Now, mind you, it's February 26th. It's cold outside. And when I say cold, it's freezing. And I look down the street and I see this yellow and black caution tape. Now I'm starting to worry. I'm like, what's going on? And my heart starts pumping. And I look out the car. And now I forgot to tell you, My daughter was on the phone with me the entire time. She's like, don't get off the phone with me, mom, because she's very close to her brother. They're like this. So I get out the car and I just start running. And I'm running down the street, huffing and puffing. I get to the store and I go to pull the door and it's locked. And a police officer just grabs me from behind. Now, if you were there with me, you'd see tons of people standing around, and everyone's standing around like statues. And nobody's saying anything. Where's my son? I'm just going up to everyone, and no one's saying anything. And I finally see this police officer, and he's tall, and he has blue eyes, the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my life. And then there's another woman next to him, and I just went up to him. I said, "Where is my son?" And he looks at me, and he lifts up his head, and he said, "I'm sorry, miss, your son is dead." And at that moment, I screamed and I threw my phone on the ground. My daughter was still on the phone, so I'm just, my mom, I can't believe it, right? Everything is just a blur. And I realized at that moment, okay, Tina, what are you going to do? Like I said earlier, am I going to go down the road of just being stuck and broken, or am I going to push through? And I realized I had to push through for my daughter, for my family. And it was a very, very extremely tough road to where we are today. And I just look at the I get to, or I got to, right? I got to spend 21 amazing years with him. You know, there were a lot of bumps and bruises, but it was absolutely amazing. And that's why we're here today, because I turned that trauma, tragedy into a traumedy and turned it around. And now I'm able to support other people. So that is why I'm here today. I just wanted to give tribute to my little boy, my funny boy. And to be spelled out. Oh my gosh, I spelled out. This is a kitty book here. Traumedy No More for Kids. This is something that I wish I would have had as a parent for my kids, because I messed up as a parent with lots of things. But anyway, the last person we have coming up here is someone that I met again in communities. She is a coach. She's pretty much amazing. And again, when I see something, when I hear something, she said something about a book, and I was like, let me help you. So, boom. Hi, Jermaine. Good to see you. Hi, Carla. So the next person we have coming up here, her name is Rasheeda, and I met her at the airport. Her blue hair, and we're talking. And again, I'm that person that just connects, and she's got a great book that's going to be coming out soon. So I need you guys to make some noise. Give it up for her. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello. Hey, girl. Hey. I'm going to sit down because everybody else was standing up. But I do my best speaking when I can sit down and be relaxed. So, wow, I love this crowd. Yay. So, anyway, my name is Rasheeda Frazier, and I am the founder and CEO of Empowering Greatness, Inc. Now, Empowering Greatness, Inc. is a coaching and consultancy firm where we help businesses turn around their leadership, optimize their operations, and build their teams so that they can thrive, so that they can increase their revenues, so that they can make lovely money and or the value and impact that they want to create. So my book, I'm going to start in reverse from everyone else. My book is called Greatness by Design. And it is called Greatness by Design because when you look out into the ethers of the business world, you see a lot of Black businesses. They are thriving, they are growing at exponential rates, they are building up. Every time you turn around, somebody's got a great business that is just there. But if you look at the statistics, Black businesses do not last long. So think about if there are 1 million Black businesses and 55 million other businesses out there, our 1 million Black businesses, maybe about 3% of them actually last past 3 years. That is dismal. And a lot of times, oh, yes, we can cite systemic issues, we can cite a lot of different things that kind of hold us back. But one of the things that we don't talk about is because we lack proper systems, a proper team, and proper knowledge and know-how about how to lead our systems and our teams. Okay. Oh, we gotta go. So I'm gonna hold on. He gonna go. Bye, baby.
Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Say bye to Tina. He said bye, Tina. Okay, now we're back. I hope y'all realize this is live. This is real time. We got people walking back and forth. This is not scripted. It's just is. So back to what I was saying. So when you think about that and you think about, wow. So when I say greatness by design, now I will get into the story behind the book. So I am about 30 plus years into being in operations, leadership, and systems. That has been my whole entire career since I started work from the age of 13 years old. I started off as an office assistant. I started off, grew into administrative assistant, grew into executive assistant, worked in directing programs, worked in doing administration at hospitals for multiple campuses, leading multiple teams. And I have done this over the span of 30 plus years. And every single time that I had the ability to be able to help somebody grow within their careers and or grow within their transition, that's the best word I can say, out of their career, um, I realized that they needed coaching in leadership. They needed coaching in how to make sure that they had the right team around them to grow. And they needed coaching in the kind of systems and models that they wanted for either their business or the departments that they were going to be going to. And I had just subconsciously been doing this apparently all my life, so it would seem. And that's what made me decide to write this book. So I'm going to take it back a little bit further because a lot of people want to know, well, who told you that you know enough about business and that you could actually write this book? So, backstory, I have three beautiful children. I call them my day ones because they literally been with me since day one. My oldest is 20. I mean, excuse me, 30. He's in the back too, looking at me like, when did I lose 10 years? My oldest is 30 years old. His name is Tyrell or Natir New. My daughter is 28. She's going to be 29. New Rashay or Demi. They've got two names. I'll tell you why later. And then my youngest is 16, about to be 17. And he's stop. And I love every last one of them to pieces. But my first two, my oldest, our thing and our judge was the library. And I know that they remember we would always go to the library. I would throw them in the kitty section. They would always be in there reading, doing activities. That was their thing. And mom would sneak off. And mom would actually go to the stacks. And the stacks would be in the business stacks. And I would sit there while they were in the kiddie section reading their books of choice and their series and having fun, just geeking out over books. I would be in the business section with these little 4, 5, 6, 7 year olds geeking out on business books. I have no idea why. That was just my judge. That's what I liked. I love to read about business models and structure. I love to read about leadership and building and making money and legacy. And that was just a thing that excited me. If you come to home to my house, we had a lot of self-help books. We had a lot of books about spirituality. We had a lot of books about business because those were my library books. Those were the things that I loved to read, right? Fast forward, I understood the correlation between what I was reading and what I was doing in real life, right? As a kid, back in the day, we had what was called a penny candy truck that was up the block. And if you were from the Bronx, I am from Bronx, New York, Undercliff Avenue. I'm from Sedgwick, 1520, home of hip hop, 4A originals. But up the steps on Undercliff Avenue, there was a penny candy truck. And I could walk up the block as a kid. So I would take my pennies, and I don't know if anybody know back in the day, if y'all remember, I'm gonna tell on us. I used to go and collect bottles, and then we would cash them in for money. And then I would go to the penny candy truck, and I would get big bags of candy, and then I would resell it. So that was my first entrepreneurial endeavor. I was out here selling candy, right? And I was selling candy to the kids who couldn't go up the block. I was a latchkey kid, so I can go anywhere and basically just do damn about anything because I had keys. And my mother trusted me, and it was a lot of us. So fast forward to me as a young adult. me growing up, me in sitting inside of my office one day at the hospital that I worked at for almost 18 years. And it was maybe around 2007. And I realized at that moment of helping everyone grow their businesses, helping everyone grow their careers, helping everyone move up the corporate ladder, their career ladders were popping. And I was still sitting in the same seat as an executive assistant and moving up the ranks into department administration and all of these other things. But something set in, and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. That is it. I am tired. Now, could I quit my job at that time? Absolutely not. I could not quit my job. I needed my money. I had to pay bills. I still had kids I needed to take care of. I was taking care of my mother. I was still taking care of my father. They were alive at that time. So that was a no. But that desire to not want to stay where I was started there. And so what began to happen over the years is, like most people, I started doing like network marketing and what can I do on the side? And I realized that that wasn't my thing, right? That wasn't going to generate for me the wealth and legacy and impact that I wanted to create. Fast forward, I started to volunteer. And I volunteered at my kids' school and a few other schools as kind of like a guidance counselor. And I was helping out the kids with their college applications and their college prep and all of the things. And it was amazing. And I was like, yeah. And then I started talking to some of the kids in some of the other schools, and they were like, yeah, I don't want to go to college. And I was like, well, what you gonna do if you're not gonna go to school? Because you cannot be out in these streets either without an education or without a plan. And one of them said, well, I'm going to start my own business. Well, what you know about starting a business? And so I actually, from that one student, started to mentor quietly and teach these children about entrepreneurship, about what that meant, about what you really need to have, not only in your mind, but everything else along the way on building yourself up to be the person to be able to own, right? Because there's a difference between being an entrepreneur, someone who can create and innovate great ideas, to someone who could actually be a business owner. A lot of people don't realize that that is a distinction. It's a lot of entrepreneurs in this world, but what you're talking about is you want to own a business. You want to realistically make some money. You want to be in charge of your time and your freedom, and you want to grow something that is going to leave legacy. That's being an owner. That's being a founder. So I started to teach the children about this, and one of them actually started a business, right? And actually, to this day, still has this business. So really proud of him and kudos to him. But fast forward, what began to happen was the parents began to come to me and say, hey, you're helping my son. You think you can help me? Now, when I helped the children, that was for free. But when I started to work with the parents and the adults, I realized in that moment I had a viable business. So fast forward to 2012 is when Empowering Greatness came into being, because I realized that within our communities, I needed to help empower my community through education and through consultancy and coaching to help them get to that level to be great in whatever that idea was that sparked them to wanting to own a business, to start a business, right? They've already had the entrepreneurial mindset and spirit. Now they needed to actualize it so that it could turn into business ownership. And that is what Greatness by Design truly talks about. It is a book that talks about the stages and cycles of your growth from being a leader to being a business owner, from the correlation between what it takes to have a sustainable, functioning, operating business to what it takes to also be a leader, and to realize that it's all interconnected and interdependent, right? It's not separate. You can actually be a great leader in your career, in your business, but that's also dependent upon if you have a great team underneath you. And if you have a great team, it's easier to lead. And if you're a great leader, it's easier to build your team. You see how that goes?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
It goes, right? If you're in business and you have jacked up systems and you have a team, right? Your team is not going to know what to do. They're going to be looking at you like, what is this? Right? Which, and then you're, as a leader, going to be looking at them like, well, I need you to do this. They're not going to know what to do because the systems are jacked up. That makes you an ineffective leader. And in order for you to be better, one of the things you would have to do is realize that I need to take a step back, fix my systems, fix my processes so that my team knows exactly what it is that they're supposed to do so that I can pull the greatness out of them so that they can come back, run this so that I can continue to grow this. So there's a lot of correlation, a lot of layers, and a lot of steps in what it really means to design your greatness, right? Design your greatness as a business owner, design your greatness as an entrepreneur, design your greatness as a leader. And so when we talk about designing greatness, it really speaks to that aspect of who we are as people, the things that we have to go through and change within our mindset, the systems that we have to put in place in order to make that happen, and the team that we need to have around us in order for us to scale, thrive, and grow. And that is what makes phenomenal businesses amazing. So I don't have too much more to say. Greatness by Design will be out. We are in the editing phase right now, and I'm so grateful to my amazing editor, Miss Edwina DeGrant is really amazing, and I love her for it. And she's gonna have my book right. So once we finish with the editing phase, the cover is already done, the title is already fixed. We should be in pre-launch sales within the next 30 days.
Woo! Oh my God. I love it. So we're nearing towards the end, but before we do our final close out of here, she's not here. Masami,
Oh, yes.
want to give her a great thank you. She's the one who allowed us into the store here. If you're watching this, if you're here, purchase something. I don't care if it's a bracelet. There are so many things, right? We have to support
Right.
one another. If you've never been to this store, it's in Newark, New Jersey. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's so much knowledge here, right? Source of knowledge. Dante, get up here.
Yes.
So just recapping, I want each speaker to just share something briefly before we get out of here. Again, I want to thank everyone for rolling through. It's all Traumedy no more. That's what kind of got us here. And I'm excited. I'm grateful for this team right here, right? Just kind of going with the flow. So we'll start with you, and then over here, and then over here for closing remarks. Get your cameras out. Get your cameras out. Record, press, share all over the place. Go for your closeout thoughts,
For
girlfriend.
my closeout thoughts, I want to say the fact that it's Black History Month. Let's not forget we're in February. And we are in a Black History store, as you can see. So I want to say my favorite African proverb: If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And we're going far.
Yes, we
We
are.
are going far, and we're going together. And if you have a dream, just like the next great Martin Luther King Jr. said, right? Get up here.
So you gotta come on. That's
Come
right.
here, yes. Get in the camera. If you have a dream and if you believe it, whatever your mind conceive, you can achieve. So whatever it is, if you have a story, it doesn't matter how bad your story is, how traumatic your trauma was, or your traumedy, Tina's word that she created. It does not matter. Put it in a book. And if you need to write a book, come see Stars Tina.
Yes,
Well,
well,
and purchase my book. Purchase my book from Wounds to Wisdom.
yes, I'm shouting this out before I forget because I may forget things. I'm doing an anthology. An anthology is one book with various authors, and this is going to be an anthology under trauma. So if you do ever wanted to be in a book, be a part of a book, it's coming out in November. I'm currently getting authors now. Just hit me up somewhere, and we'll see if you're a great fit for the book. I'm looking for people that have a story that's a trauma or tragedy, and you turned it into a triumph. With that being said, we're throwing it over to Dante. Give us your closing. Our hard act to follow, right?
Right.
I'm here thinking.
I felt the pressure.
Yes, I'm like, okay, what am I going to say? Well, what kind of parable?
Oh no, you're next.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. If you guys missed this young character, rewind on YouTube. By the way, YouTube subscribe right now. Okay, just subscribe to Star TV. Anyway, what's your closing plus? What did you think of today?
I thought it was excellent. I'm very inspired by all the speakers here today. You guys were amazing, and you've given me a lot to think about. And I can't wait till I'm gonna write a book. So that's gonna be awesome, and I'll be asking for your thoughts. And my closing thoughts is: if you want to go out and do something, go do it. Don't think about it. Just do it.
Okay, okay. Yes. So, Mom, he said it. I'm here. You know, if he said it, I'm gonna make it happen, right? All these books are coming out September, November. So if you truly do want that, I'm here for you. Okay. Dante, share with us. You're still on the camera, so you're
I'm so
good.
good.
Yep, you're good.
I really have to say, trust the process, and people have different faiths, whatever. I just say the divine process, trust the divine design, because a lot of the times you're looking out yourself for stuff, and a lot of time it's in you. And if even in the way it kind of comes out, the way I tell the thing at Project DNA that I tell everyone is this: wherever there's treasure, there's going to be dirt, and dirt is messy. But what we do, people like myself and us, we excavate. We're miners. We're going to dig it out. We help you get them treasures out of you. As Martin would say, we get that about you. You know what I'm saying? We get that about you. But that's really what it's all about. Let's get the treasures out of us so we don't go back to the dirt with the treasures inside of us.
Ooh. See, it's getting harder. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna find one of these books.
Closing remark. Because I'm coming from an angle of business, it is Black History Month. I want to say to everybody who is concerned, scared, has an emotion around what is happening out here in this world, what is happening politically, what is happening in your town. You're losing money, all of these things. I don't know how I'm going to make it. Whatever the administration, the next 4 years, dot, 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 dot. Pay attention to it, but let it go, right? Let it go, because we are a people that are resilient. We are a people that does not matter what others think in terms of their ability to knock us down and keep us low. We have never, ever, ever, ever been taken out. And we rise again and again and again. Black people are the phoenix. We rise, we fall, we ash, we are reborn every single time, every single way, every step of the way, right? And for me, that rebirth can happen through business. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have an idea about entrepreneurship, you own a business. There is something out there that you really want to do to be able to make money off of, to help your people to do these things and to begin to continue that legacy over and over and over. Do not let this administration or anybody in this world tell you that you cannot, because the only people that you have to listen to in this world is you and God. And God sits inside of your heart. God sits inside of your spirit. God sits inside of your soul. And God is the power that we need in order to rise up every single time. And it's the reason why we have always risen up every single time. And it's the reason why they can never, ever knock us down. Period.
Period. Woo! Let's get some photos. Get on the set over here. Let's get some photos, and then I'm still thinking of what I'm gonna say. Let me pull this out. So everyone take pictures and send them all to me. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you for the photo. No Karen, no idea what Karen to look at. Look straight ahead. Look up. Straight ahead. All right. Hopefully we got one camera. Give everybody a round of applause, guys. Great job, great job. So I just wanna share as we get out of here. I just want to share really quickly. I just truly, truly, truly want to thank you all, because Monday of this week, I was truly 100 bajillion% ready to just quit everything. When I say everything, everything. And I'm that type of person is I do so many things. Like if I stop one thing, it's like I can't quit, but I truly was ready to just stop. Right. And then I was thinking, well, what about Jersey, Tina? You're doing this book event on Saturday. And I was like, I don't care. Rasheeda can take over. Like I was just like done. If you guys don't know, I moved to Florida. I said I'm gonna make new roots here. And life is hard and stuff. And I was like, that's it. I can't do this anymore. And then I reached out to a couple people. Some people know how to connect with me, right? They know what to say. Some people I just hang on the phone, I don't want to hear it. And this one particular person, they just kept pushing and pushing and digging. And then I thought of my son and the reason why. And because of you and you and you and you made me say, okay, T, you can get out of bed. And I want to leave you with just one thing: live in the present moment right now. Because if I'm thinking about last week, last year, I'm going to be miserable, I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be depressed. If I think about the future, well, how am I going to do this? I have no idea. God has got my life planned. So live in the present moment, and that's just going to make you feel so good. And right now, it's not, and I stopped trying to plan everything. I stopped a long time ago because I would plan, and then it wouldn't turn out right, and I would get upset. Everyone who's supposed to be here today in person, everyone that's supposed to be here virtually is a person, are the people that are supposed to be here. So thank you. I hope we have touched your lives in some sort of way. Thank you, Molly. Don't forget, the other book is all sold out, but you can purchase your kids' book today. Special price today, 25. If you're stuck, you can do 20, but I don't mind if 25 or 30 for them. No, but this is a kids' book. We are here. We are out of here. YouTube, thank you for coming through. Share this out with whoever, and we're finished. Bye. Everybody happy? See ya. See ya now.